Well, hello there. It's a cold day in Ohio. We had our first snowfall 2 days ago. I just went to my local Aldi and got tons of great ingredients. Like they have pancetta now. I can't believe it. I'm basically making pasta and fagioli, or just fagioli. Okay, so welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to show you how to do this. Keep it simple. It's very fresh and simple, and there's a million different ways you could do this. And honestly, almost every time I make it, it's even just a little bit different. So stay tuned and I am going to show you exactly how to do it the easiest and old-fashioned way. But this is a simple traditional dish, and this is what you need. Great northern beans. So I am going to make 2 of these, and you can start off with really any kind of meat, or if you don't have meat, you can leave the meat out. But I like to use some diced pancetta. This really melts away. This is pork. It's like a bacon, but it's cured. Okay. And I'm going to use 2 small onions and a lot of garlic. I'm going to use this whole handful of garlic. Already peeled for me. I love it. Since the garlic is already peeled for me, I end up using so much garlic because of that. But I got all of these ingredients from Aldi's, you guys. Aldi's. They have stepped up their game. They have pancetta. Like, this is insane. You used to have to go to Giant Eagle or an Italian specialty store to get this stuff. So we are going to get started, of course, with our extra virgin olive oil. Remember, buy a good olive oil, invest, and make sure that it's from one region. It has the best flavor instead of a bunch of different kinds getting thrown in all together. Okay. So I am going to, you would think that I would get started with my pancetta, but I'm actually not. I am going to get started with my onions, and then I'll put the pancetta in, and then I'll do the garlic, then the beans, and then I'll add a little bit of chicken stock and a little bit of tomato paste, just a dab. Now, this is the simplest that it can be, right? My northern beans, my onion, my garlic, that's basically it. And then I have this little bit of meat that really just is for flavoring. If you don't have this, maybe you can use some bacon, just chopped up like really small. I've used sausage. I've used diced ham. So just anything to like, depends on what you're going for. If you want it more chunky and more hearty, I would use a sausage. Now you can also put like celery in this and carrots, but you don't have to. So again, we are going to make it the most simplest way that you can do. So let's get started. Put these right here. Peel your onion. It's cold outside, but it's not as cold as what it has been. We had a couple snowy days here in Ohio, and today it went to like 45, 50. So my sinuses are a little bit confused, not knowing what to do. And what I'm going to do is I peeled my onion, and I'm going to start by chopping it this way, and then go back again. They don't have to be perfect. And we're going to drop that in. And I got this other one here. I'm going to do my other onion. And I will start to cook this up with the pancetta. And a little bit of olive oil in my pan. So we're going to put this on a medium-high heat. Mostly high, really. My stove is leveled to like a 9, so I have it on a 7. Keep that going. Get it moved around in the olive oil. I'm going to probably have to add a little bit more olive oil. Oh, the onions are making me cry. And my nose is running. But you'll be happy. The pasta fagioli is going to taste so good. This is such a quick, simple, and inexpensive dish. And if you want it to spread then what I would do, growing up, we ate a lot of macaroni. I would serve this over macaroni if you wanted to like feed a ton more people. What I actually like to do, I don't like to have a lot of pasta in mine because the beans are just like enough protein and enough carbs and all that. So, I have to blow my nose. What I like to do is take long things of spaghetti and break them up really tiny in the pasta fagioli once it's finishing. Or you could do the pasta on the side and just marry them in as you go, kind of like macaroni with this topping of beans flavored, basically, is all it is. You can hear it. And it's starting to sizzle. So I am going to add some more olive oil. So see that? It's very simple. Diced onion, pancetta, get this cooked up. You don't want grilled onions, you just want sauteed onions. See-through and soft. And I'll open these. These were so nice too from Aldi's. These are the Dakotas. They were about 70 cents today, I think, 78. So no can opener needed. And I do not strain these because mine, I like mine more like a soup. This is basically like a very simple bean soup, but it's pasta fagioli. That's what we call it. I've also made this, like with the way that my mother-in-law tends to make it, is she likes to make hers more chunky. Mine is going to be very plain and smooth. What I mean by chunky is like she likes to have like chunks of celery in hers, even chunks of tomato. So, you know, the way that soups are always made is it's usually a combination of extra ingredients and whatever you have laying around. And that's how the soups are made. So what I'm doing now is I'm smashing my garlic cloves. I smash them with my knife, and then I run my knife through them. This is actually fun. I love Sam's Club for my garlic because I get a huge bag already peeled. I used to have to peel all my garlic, and it was a pain in the butt. I don't know if you've ever peeled garlic before, but it is worth every penny to have it already peeled for you. And then I love cooking with garlic, so I'll just end up using more garlic if it's already peeled for me. And before it goes bad, put it in your freezer, and then you can always just pop them out of the freezer, the little cloves, and you're ready to cook with them. And you know your garlic can hang out because it actually gets more nutrients, start to release or something like that, the compounds when it sits and marinates. And you get maximum health benefits from it. So I just figure something's better than nothing. The longer you can let it hang out, great. But this will just get drizzled in there and brought up to a heat once it's ready. I want to get this cooked first because the garlic just cooks like so fast. And I don't want to burn the garlic, but this stuff can take more heat. There's more water in the onions. We have to cook a lot of that water out. Get them nice and see-through. Crisp up that pancetta a little bit. Beautiful. This is also how you would start right here. You could make this into a sauce. That would be delicious. So all that's in there right now is olive oil, onion, and pancetta. This is my chopped up garlic, and I'm going to dump my white northern beans in there, and just a dab of tomato paste to give it an orangish color. Or any sauce that you have. I'm actually going to see what I have open that needs used. It's funny because it's almost like pork and beans, but we would never call it that in this house. It's a pasta and fagioli, or just fagioli. I mean, because pancetta is just so much more fancy than any other kind of pork, right? Sure. No, it is. You are fancy if you do this dish. Simple. We keep it simple and fresh and yummy. Here's the olive oil I'm using today. And I can smell all of this. My onions are about see-through now. Do you see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. And I'm going to dump this garlic in. You don't want to burn the garlic. So that will really just take a second to get soft. And oh, when you start to smell the garlic hit the pan and go all through your house and oh, the aroma. So good. It is so good. So good. All right. Making sure I pay attention to this. I don't want to burn anything. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. Yes, it's looking great. All right. That garlic was cut nice and small. So it really got see-through very fast and all of those aromas combined. It's time to dump in the northern beans. There it is. And remember, we like to use some chicken stock too. You don't have to use chicken stock. If you don't have any, you don't have any, you know. I have a few different ways to do this. So you can have just like a thing of stock. You can have bouillon cube and make it on the side and dump it. Actually, what I have today, I got one of these rotisserie chickens from Sam's Club. I turn this into so many things. If I'm really hungry, I just start picking at it, which I did right there. I needed to taste the chicken. And then I like to toss it with these chipotles and make like a chipotle chicken taco or taquito. But this has some broth in here. So I am going to pour that in there. I'm going to take that flavor. Mmm. Yum. And then I'm probably going to fill this up once or twice with water. Okay. Let's do a little salt and pepper, but now we're just going to turn our heat up just a little bit. It's on still a low heat, 3 to 4. Just to kind of keep it cooking and keep those things blending. Now is the time that you would do your side of macaroni or your side of pasta, or bring it to like a boil and break off the pasta in it. I'm probably going to do that. I don't really know what I want to do. Oh, I also wanted to show you this other option I have for chicken base, which is these things here. I use these for cooking a lot too. So it's just a chicken base, and this is a roasted one. See what it looks like? It's like a paste. So I do like to just get maybe a little bit of that. Just see how you're feeling, what you're in the mood to, taste. But this is the simplest, most easiest way. And again, because it's like a soup and a very inexpensive dish, you're going to be able to get creative and mix it up. Okay? I just always like to keep white northern beans on the shelf. I always keep these on the shelf, and I always like to have a can of chipotle peppers. And this base, okay. So now I'm going to add just a little bit of tomato to make it an orangish color. Now, what I've also done before is I like to take carrots and like slice them super thin and then chop them to where they're like little tiny specks of carrot and sprinkle it in, and there's so many things you can do. I'm trying to stay focused. This is the easiest, most simplest way to make pasta and fagioli, which we don't have our pasta yet, so it's fagioli. So it's just onion, pancetta, garlic, and white beans. I have no sauce, and I really don't use this a lot. I usually make my own sauce, but we do have this because my son likes to dip cheese sticks and stuff in it, and my son, who's only 13, his flavors have not developed into being able to handle all this kind of stuff yet. So I'm going to take a spoonful. We're going to take a spoonful of this, 2 small spoons, and just mix it in. And that will give a little bit of tomato flavor back there. It will help flavor your broth, and it gets a nice orange color. So now that this is just going to kind of marry together, it's really done. I'm going to salt and pepper it. Might use a little garlic powder, but I don't think I need to. It's pretty much done. So what I am going to do is break up some spaghetti into this. I'm not going to do a side of pasta. So I'm going to turn up my heat so that it will cook my noodle. Turn that up to high. You could use any kind of pasta. If you had like a penne or macaroni, whatever you want. But when you do it like how I'm going to do it, because this is just, it will help thicken the broth. So I will take this long noodle and I'm literally going to just break them up so small. See? So they're like little tiny pasta floating in there. So my water is starting to boil and it will cook this up real quick. So there's my pasta. Because I would rather have bread with this and just like, you know, eat this mostly like a soup. I don't want a lot of pasta in mine. But if I had to feed a lot of people, I would do a side of pasta and serve this as a sauce over top of the pasta. And it would be like really like a soup, but that's if you had to feed more people, you know. So I'm getting hot cooking over the stove. I'm not going to do much more. But that was quick and easy, and it's basically done. Now, once you eat this, of course, you'll top it with however you choose, like the Romano cheese that you grind and red pepper flakes. That's what I like to do with mine. You don't want to do it to the whole thing because people like theirs different. And I like to have some bread with mine. So that's why I don't like to have a lot of pasta. This is, you know, it's processed. Other than that, everything in here is a nice whole food. The beans are a whole food, the onion, the garlic, the pancetta. So all good ingredients. Just a little pasta won't hurt. It will also thicken this, and it gives you just a little something different texture against your tongue and something to chew. So I'm just gonna let these boil for a couple minutes, and then I'll reduce the heat again. And it will be ready to be eaten. Nice. You can smell it. Yes, a little salt and pepper is what we need. I'm going to break up a couple more of these. Now I'm getting sick of standing over the stove, so they're getting bigger. My pasta's getting bigger in there. Oh wow. Perfect. Alright, a little salt and a little pepper. You don't really need much salt because the pancetta is pretty salty. What's that? Delicioso. Alright, let's throw away our cans because a good cook is a clean cook. One that doesn't leave messes. Then it's like people are going to get mad at you if you leave a mess in their kitchen and they won't enjoy your cooking as much because it will get associated with the fact that every time they cook, they leave me a big mess, right? That's how it was for me growing up, so I like to be a clean cook. I like to be clean everything. But this is getting, you can tell that the texture is getting a little bit thicker here. All right, I'm going to turn the heat down on low. Let it hang out, and I'll show you what it looks like plated. Okay, there you have it. Pasta Fagioli. Pasta Fagioli. Oh, it's so good and creamy. So I am going to scoop some in here, and I'm going to show you how I like mine. Very minimal pasta, because it's just me, and probably Chris is going to eat this again. If you need it, and I'd rather get my carbs with bread. Okay, look how beautiful it looks. See the perfect color, a little orangish, perfect texture. You can see my onions floating, the little pancetta, and I already ground We already grinded this up, so this is fresh Parmigiano Reggiano. I'm going to sprinkle mine with that. And my red crushed red pepper. And mine will be a little spicy. Yum. Perfecto. Delicious? I know. I wish you could taste it. Oh my gosh. It smells just like an Italian restaurant. So good, you guys. Imagine some good fresh bread dipping into that. I have my bread maker, but I ain't making you fresh bread today. That's okay. All right, well, I hope you enjoy, and this is a classic. Pasta e fagioli, but mostly fagioli.
Sun is sexy suppers and subs because healthy is so sexy.